everybody, and welcome to Home News Network. I'm lead anchor Jessica Siafi here with some news for a TV production project that has probably been long outdated. A once stable East Antarctic glacier, called the Denman Glacier, has now retreated 3 miles over the last 22 years, indicating that there could now be a sea level rise of 5 feet. Former boyfriend of Jennifer Lopez, David Cruz, died Saturday in New York City. Cruz was only 51 and died from heart disease. At 15, Lopez started dating Cruz, who was a year older, and they were together for about 10 years. David Cruz's lifelong partner of 18 years, Issa, says that he was, quote, a devoted father. He helped raise his stepson, who is now in the Marines, end quote. Before I go, I want to give a quick shout out to Miss McCready. Hope all is well, I miss you. Now with more, here's Ryan Cadello.
Thank you, Jess. Mark Blum, known from the popular 80s movies Crocodile Dundee and Desperately Seeking Susan, dies at age 69 due to complications from the coronavirus. Mark was described as a gifted actor and a loyal friend by Rebecca Damon. Thursday, Fred Curly Neal from the Harlem Globetrotters died at his home right outside of Houston. Sadly, his cause of death was from having a heart attack. Fred Neal was one of the best-known members of the Harlem Globetrotters. He first joined the team in 1963 and retired in 1985 with a total of 6,000 games played in 97 different countries. Arrangements for Neal's funeral are currently pending. I would also love to give a shout out to my math teacher, Mr. Petruzzi. He's been doing live streams, giving lessons, recording them, and then posting them onto Classroom. He's doing whatever he can to help us learn in the best way possible from home.
The Pacific Gas and Electric Company, better known as the PG&E, has agreed to plead guilty to 84 counts of involuntary manslaughter and 1 felony count of unlawfully causing a fire after it was blamed for the Camp Fire in Northern California, the deadliest in state history. The company was expected to plead guilty in court this Friday, but because of the coronavirus, courts are closed and a date of April 24th has been set for the guilty plea and sentencing. The Great Barrier Reef is experiencing its most widespread coral bleaching event in the past 5 years. There have been 5 recorded bleaching events at the reef, says Terry Hughes, director of the Research Council at James Cook University in Australia. Before I go, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Mrs. Meeker and Ms. Mullenbrook. I miss you guys so much, and I hope that you guys are staying healthy and happy at home. I can't wait to see you guys again. Now with more, here's Jack Farrow.
Thanks, Gianna. The U.S. puts more sanctions on Iran during the COVID-19 pandemic. The virus has killed at least 2,234 people in Iran, and there are almost 30,000 cases there. According to Johns Hopkins University, the sanctions come after former FBI agent Robert Levinson went missing more than a decade ago. U.S. Treasury believed he died while in custody in Iran, according to U.S. officials. Sanctions might be rolled back, though, because of the virus. Apple's new iPad Pro is still prone to bending, and it can break easily. People have been bending the new $799 to $999 iPad and recording it break, so make sure to not bend your iPad still. Shout out to Mr. Stevenson for keeping on top of work even though it's online. He's kept up the work and has even made videos to help us out if we don't know what to do. So thank you and keep up the good work. Now, here's Jake Giacome with more.
Thanks, Jack. After a major plummet since the start of the coronavirus outbreak, the Dow has returned to a normal number, being up 1,300 points. It is currently around 22,500. The rise of the Dow is due to the stimulus deal. There is a new trend going around called the Coronavirus Challenge. The challenge is to record yourself licking disgusting and contaminated items such as toilet seats and public doorknobs. This trend has been seen mainly on TikTok, a video sharing platform. This challenge, among other reasons, is why the U.S. has faced 55,000 cases and over 800 deaths since the start of the coronavirus. Shout out to Mr. Cable, the game club owner and the best RHS science teacher. And now, here is Mariah.
Thanks, Jake. Museums across the nation are now sending each other virtual flowers through social media to help spread positivity through the corona pandemic. Since majority of the museums are now closed, museums such as the New York Historical Society, the National Portrait Gallery in Washington, D.C., and the Guggenheim Museum in New York City took to Twitter to share different pieces of artwork, paintings, photos, and even poems to show kindness in these unfortunate times. Texas is expected to hit record heat due to the severe storms across the country. While majority of the country is preparing for heavy rain or snow, the South is bracing for record heat that may reach over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I would now like to take this time to give a special shout out to Mr. Stevenson. Thank you for all that you do. I appreciate it and miss your class. Hope you're staying safe. Now here's Braden.
Thanks, Mariah. NFL free agency has heated up over this past week. Trades have also been a big factor for this offseason site. All 32 teams have made crucial moves to make a run for the Super Bowl title next season. Big names such as Tom Brady, Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins, and Phillip Rivers will all be in new uniforms next season. The 2020-2021 season looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Noah Syndergaard, Mets right-hand pitcher, will most likely have to get Tommy John surgery this season. New York Mets fans are definitely kicking themselves because once the season starts, they will be missing a key piece for their pitching rotation. My RHSH shout-out goes to the Raritan Wrestling team. Stay safe, boys. Now with more, here's Patrick Lane.
Thanks, Brandon Kamick. A 24-year-old man was shot and killed on Monday night. The man was killed in his home on Dewitt Avenue just before midnight. The man was rushed to Jersey Shore Medical Center where he was presumed dead. No arrests have been made and the investigation is still ongoing. The magic and mystery that lay at the theme parks of Universal and Magic Kingdom are gone. It has been 1 week since the parks have closed to the public to prevent people from spreading the coronavirus. Tourists say the place is eerie and ghost-like when it is empty, while others think it is something special to see the theme parks completely empty. Disney plans to reopen its park at the end of the month, while Universal doesn't plan to reopen until April 19th. We all missed a wonderful staff at Raritan High School, so I'm going to give a special shout out to everyone's favorite rock star, Mr. LaHaye. Mr. LaHaye was always fun and energetic, and he had a great way of bonding with his students. We miss you, LaHaye. Now with more with Evan Lee.
Thanks, Patrick. Several establishments in New York State who no longer offer on-site dining due to recent concerns are now permitted for takeout alcohol up until April 15th. This new rule has taken effect, but may receive an extension depending on current circumstances. Recent studies on the effects of taking baths show that in addition to the relaxation it provides in itself, it also decreases a person's risk of heart disease and stroke. Taking a hot bath, according to the medical journal Heart, gives a 28% lower risk of heart disease and 26% lower risk of stroke due to the increased blood pumping property of it. Before passing this on to Christopher Lemma, I would like to give a quick shout out to Mr. Pollack of Raritan High School and Brookdale Community College for his fun and enjoyable teaching ethics. I hope all is well. Now to you, Chris.
Thanks, Evan. Mercury, one of the hottest planets in our solar system, may have contained resources to harbor life. According to Dr. Cargill, quote, "It is possible that as long as there was water, the temperatures would have been appropriate for the survival and possible the origin of life," end quote. As long as Mercury had water, the temperatures would have been made to suit organisms, meaning life on Mercury is possible. Nicolas Maduro, president of Venezuela, is charged in the United States for drug trafficking. The charge was considered unusual as Maduro has a good reputation. Many think it is to escalate Trump's campaign to pressure Maduro to leave office after his disputed election in 2018. Maduro disapproved of these charges, accusing the United States and Colombia of giving, quote, "the order to fill Venezuela with violence," end quote. Maduro declared that he will not be defeated. Before I go, I would like to give a quick shout out to Miss Taylor's Honors in Character and Scene Exploration 1 and 2 class. I missed that class so much, and I hope that everyone is staying healthy, and I hope we will all be back together soon. Now, with more, here's Dan Lin.
Thanks, Chris, aka C Lemonator. Unfortunately, with the ongoing pandemic of COVID-19 that is affecting the globe, China is now closing off its borders with the rest of the world. In a government statement last Thursday, the country will officially close its borders on March 28th. This is due to fears that a second wave of the novel coronavirus will sweep into the country. However, most of the country is returning to normal life with the slowing down of cases found in China. We are just a couple weeks away from the Final Fantasy VII remake that will release on April 10th. Now Sony and Square Enix have teamed up to release a PS4 bundle along with the game. Finally, before I go, I would like to give a shout out to Mr. Stevenson. Hopefully you and your family are doing well. Once we come back from this ongoing incident, we should definitely catch up on things. Stay safe.
Thursday. A delivery truck spill caused several rolls of toilet paper to be scattered everywhere along a local highway. The cause? Currently unknown. This spill happens during a record-breaking toilet paper shortage sweeping the nation. Thursday. The United States Department of Justice has ordered for Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro to be indicted on charges of trafficking drugs into the United States. The Department of Justice is offering a $15 million reward to anyone who could give information to help with his arrest. Many countries support this, as most no longer recognize him as the president of Venezuela anymore, since the election from last year was not legitimate. And now, just a real quick shout out to Mr. Leonard and the Global Communications Club. You guys are so fun to work with, and I hope to continue working with you guys once we get back to school. And now, with more, here's Matt Nunez.
Disney, Sony, and tons of other movie studios pushed back movie release dates amidst coronavirus concerns. Recently, the coronavirus pandemic has put the entire nation on lockdown. People are advised to stay away from others and also stay home. While people are doing this, movie theaters are in crisis. Movies like Onward from Disney or Bloodshot starring Vin Diesel did horribly in the box office due to the whole coronavirus situation. Both are being released digitally as of now, but there are also other movies coming out afterward. What are the big billion-dollar movie companies going to do? Movies like Ghostbusters, Afterlife, Wonder Woman 2, James Bond, and tons more have been delayed for later releases in the year. Fast and Furious 9 got pushed all the way back from May 2020 to April 2021. Almost an entire year, basically. People are telling these big studios to release their movies on streaming services like Netflix or Disney+. Would they decide to do this? We'll see what happens. Netflix opens new party mode for people to socialize through. In the wake of the coronavirus pandemic, people are urged to remain indoors for as long as the governor says. The only things people have to keep themselves occupied are the internet, video games, movies, DVDs, etc. But what are these subjects doing about it? Recently, Netflix has enabled a party mode which allows one person to share their Netflix screen with friends as they watch a movie or a TV show altogether. There is a chat on the right of the screen which allows people to communicate with the said movies or shows playing. The extension is free and able to be downloaded through your Chromebook, but the school blocked it for some reason. Will you be able to try this? I'd like to give a shout out to my sister Abigail, who graduated here 2 years ago.
An entire nursing home in Woodbridge, New Jersey is presumed to have coronavirus. About 24 of the 94 residents of the home have tested positive, and the remaining 70 are all believed to have it as well. Each resident of the facility was removed and relocated to a different home in Whippany, New Jersey. It was announced Tuesday that Mets star pitcher Noah Syndergaard, although not playing due to COVID-19, will need to undergo Tommy John surgery. He will be out until at least April of 2021, but it's likely his absence will continue into the summer months of next year. Now, before I go, I just want to give a quick shout out to the Raritan baseball team. I know it's tough not being able to play, but hopefully we'll be able to get back on the field soon. Now I'll pass it on to Sarah with more.
Thank you, Will. Robert Parlin, a 24-year-old man of Little Egg Harbor, New Jersey, passed away after the car he was riding in struck a tree on Stafford Avenue at about 5:30 Thursday. Parlin was in the front passenger seat at the time of the accident. 24-year-old Jaden Lowe, the driver who suffered minor injuries, was found to be speeding, causing the crash. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy condemned people for using the coronavirus to hate on the Orthodox Jewish community in Lakewood, New Jersey, Thursday. Murphy told reporters, quote, "There's a very special place in hell for the very small minority that do that," end quote. I just want to take some time to thank Miss Maroon for everything. Dance class always made my schedule better. It was the reason I showed up most of the time. She's always there for all of the RHS dancers and has always been an amazing teacher. So thank you. Now for Simi Sandhu with some more news.
Thanks, Sarah. Because of the coronavirus, or known as COVID-19, India is being forced into lockdown today to try to stop this pandemic spreading even more than it already has. This will have a negative impact on the Indian society because it means that many will starve and the already weak economy will be pushed to its limit. In New Delhi, police officers are stopping people on streets and demanding them to know why they aren't home safe. Doctors are getting kicked out of their homes because their families fear that they may be a carrier of the virus. Nearly 1.5 million Indians are being forced to stay home and safe from COVID-19. Tuesday, the Arizona Court of Appeals confirmed Jodi Arias' murder conviction and life sentence in the 2008 killing of her ex-boyfriend. The police found that her ex-boyfriend, Travis Alexander, was found shot in the face, stabbed, and slit in the neck from ear to ear in his shower. He was found at his house located in Mesa, Arizona. I would like to give a shout out to Miss Blay for being an amazing teacher and making Spanish an interesting class to look forward to. Thank you for all that you do. That will do it for today. On behalf of all of us here at Home News Network, good night and good luck.